No.
What about this challenge?
What's he told you about Toulon as a team?
I've not spoken to him. So
When he signed, you must have.
oh yeah, I mean obviously they've got big names and obviously they've got passionate fans down there. The stadium's old school, but when they pack it, it's really good. I mean, yeah, I played there against Toulon with Northampton last year. So yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean it's pure rugby down there, isn't it? It's what people come to see. And yeah, I mean they've got massive names. They've got a huge squad as well. So they've got plenty of talent to pick from.
You must wish you were twins, because obviously you could swap then.
Switching, no, I wouldn't swap it. My French isn't that good. So no, it's one of those things. I mean, Roy's settled in down there. He's just enjoying himself down there. No, he's been injured, but yeah, he said it's good sort of lifestyle and stuff like that. So, but that's what it is.
Become a bit of a cult figure here now. Are you surprised that happened so quickly? Or?
Oh, me? I wouldn't go that far. I don't know. I just settled in. It's been really good down here. Like the boys are great. Nigel's been fantastic for me this season. It's been a real help for my career coming down here. Like the fresh change, the fresh start, and it's sort of really helped.
Difficult season though.
Oh no, it is. I mean, it's one of those things. We're a young side overall. I mean, we've got a lot of young players coming through. Obviously, I mean, with myself, Stephen Jones when we're playing, Mark Jones, but he's been injured. Ian King's just come back, but the guys that have been filling in, the young squad. I mean, I remember the stats from towards the end of last season. I think the average age was like 22 or something like that playing, which for a back line, the average age was 22, which is a very young squad. I mean, I look back when I was 24, I thinking I knew everything, and looking back now, it's for a fact you just don't have the experience, you don't have the ability to read the game as well as experience brings you. So I mean that's been the difference, and there's been little things. This season we've got lots of losing bonus points, which means we're close, we're not far away. It's just the little things, the little patience here when we're close to the line, not to turn it over, improving in our kicking chase, and it's little things. And I think with that, it's not far away, and hopefully this weekend we get everything right and everything clicks and we have a stormer. It's not just this season; it's the seasons to come. You keep these group of players together, and there's massive potential there. That's again one of the things that drew me down here.
I suppose you showed that in London Irish this year when you weren't up there.
Well, exactly.
Situation, you weren't given much of a chance going up there.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's only a dog in the day. I mean, underestimate us at your peril. It's one of those things, and we know that we can play some good rugby, and it's just, I think, a lot of inconsistency that comes with having a lot of young boys in the squad, and the only thing that cures that is game time. And luckily, the boys are getting lots of game time. But I say, if it doesn't happen this year, it's for the future. But obviously we're looking to get everything right for this weekend. I say the whole London Irish thing is great confidence for us because we know we can do it. We've just got to go out and play our game and force our game on the opposition. And that'll be the key for this weekend.
What does Jonny Wilkinson mean to you as a rugby player?
I mean, he's a great player. He's one of these consummate professionals, isn't he? He does everything he needs to do. He reads the game really well. He picks the lines. He puts his body on the line. He's just one of these players. I mean, everybody knows him, and everybody knows that he gives 100%, and he can be very dangerous. He's a points accumulator. Everybody knows him for he's a deadly kicker. You give away any penalties in your half, and he'll just point at the post, and you can pretty much guarantee it's 3 points. So that's something we've got to be aware of. We've got to be absolutely clinical in our half, otherwise we'll get punished.
Did you win with Northampton, didn't you, in Toulon?
We did actually. Yeah. It was quite a convincing win, to be fair. I can't remember what the final score was, but yeah, it was fairly convincing. I think it was a point where they're having a bit of issues on and off the field. So, but yeah, no, it can be a really intimidating place to go if the crowd gets behind them. Yeah. But at the same time, if you get on top of Toulon, as all French crowds do, they're quite happy to turn their own team if they're not playing well. So that's hopefully we can get that done to them, and we'll get them cheering us and booing them. That'd be ideal.
Did you score that night?
Did I score? Yes. I can't remember actually. I think I got one actually. I don't know. I'd have to look up. I can't remember. Not scored for a while.
Talking about Wilkinson, how important to the Scarlets is Stephen Jones?
Oh, massive. I mean, your 10 is a key position, and he's obviously got the experience, and he directs us very well. And I say, out of two, I'd quite happily have Stephen Jones leading us. So yeah, I mean, he's, as I say, the old tens are key to all plays. I mean, they can get you the goal forward through kicking, or they spark the back moves. So I mean, that's it. I mean, yeah, so he'll be key.
Was Steve a player you appreciated before you played with him, Sean, or was it just since you played with him?
No, I mean, obviously coming up against him in international scenes, you know him and you respect him. And I say when they've got a good 10 and he's controlling it, you've got to pay attention, because obviously everything pivots through the 10. So I mean, yeah, you've got to pay attention. It's the same with us when we're looking at Jonny. I mean, he's the pivot and he's the one that directs it, and the ball 90% of the time goes through him. So you've got to be aware of that.
Most people look at those two, that battle between Wilkinson and Josie is a real nice subplot to the game in terms of...
Well, I say the 10 position's a key position. It's, in general, if a 10 has a bad game, the rest of the team will have a bad game, just because obviously with him controlling it, if he isn't kicking in the right places or if he isn't putting the passes in there or making the right decisions, then it makes it that much more difficult. So if your 10's not trying to put more pressure on them, but if your 10 if your 10's not going well, you tend not to do well. Likewise, if your 10's on fire, things go well. So yeah, I say it's just the position. It's one of the few sort of key positions on the pitch. Like hooker and 9 and 10 are really key.
It's a big sort of end to the season, albeit a bit of a dogfight on the one front. But is it a question of not putting too much pressure on yourself and letting what you do well come to the fore, or? Yeah,
I mean it's about us enforcing our game on the opposition. I mean, we know what we need to do, and it's just a case of doing it. Like, we've got the game plans in place, and it's key for us to enforce it and take it to them. Obviously, we've done lots of video analysis of them all. We know where we can go at them, and it's just about to being clinical on the day. It's cutting out all the. I mean, there's a lot of knock-ons against Osprey's return over a lot of ball that we should have kept, and it's just little things like that. It's keeping the ball. If you keep the ball away from the opposition, they can't score. If you can retain it, it makes it a hell of a lot difficult for them to score. So that's the key thing: it's ball retention and putting all the pressure on them.
So many Scotsmen left in Europe. Do you feel like you need to fly the flag?
That doesn't bother me. I mean, I want to see Scarlets win some silverware this year. I mean, we're still in chance, and we're still there, and we're still fighting. It's not just the silverware, but it's also another way into Europe next year. So that's the main thing. I mean, that's the whole point of playing rugby. You come out firing to try and get yourself something, and I mean, we'll take it. If we can get ourselves there, we'll take it.
From a personal point of view, Sean, did you enjoy the Six Nations? I mean, it seems like a long time ago than you thought.
No, it was good. It was it was one of those awkward tournaments where I enjoy going up there, and it's like a good bunch of boys, and Andy's a really good coach, and it was one of those it was really frustrating for us. It's much as similar as it is here. We've always been so it's funny. It shows that both teams. I mean, everybody's talking about Scotland, maybe not so much Scarlets, but both teams are in a similar position. We're on that verge of being something really good, and it can go just a little bit more. And Scotland's the same. It's just getting that finishing. I mean, the Wales game sort of summed it up. Yeah. We need to be clinical, and another couple of smarter decisions which weren't made. The same here. That is the difference between a win and a loss. And at high level rugby, that is the difference. Small as the inches, isn't it? And everybody goes on about it. The ball bounces one way. You get it, or if you catch it straight, it's the big difference. So, I mean, I think that's a similarity here.
Well, that Wales game epitomises how cruel the bounce of the ball can be, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's a fine margin between a win and a loss these days, and it's such an intense sport in every sense. I mean, you put your body on the line. So at a high level of Six Nations, the pressure's on you to get wins, and you're only really judged on the result at the end. Like everybody says this year for Scotland, oh yeah, thought you played really well, but I'd rather play badly and win than play well and lose. So that's about it. And just got to take it. We'll focus this weekend and get another win and move another rung up the ladder. So.